So guys, now we'll be starting with the Langchain ecosystem. So I already told you Langchain created its own ecosystem. So Langchain is having three ecosystem framework. One is the Langsmith, LangGraph, and this LangServe. Okay, so all of them will be exploring. I'll show you the demo. Okay, how we can use these are the framework, and with the help of these are the framework. Okay, what we can implement and all, each and everything I'll try to discuss about. First of all, let's try to see what is ecosystem exactly. Okay, inside Langchain, I'll give you the overview of it. Then we'll start with the practical demo. So see guys, as of now, we have learned about the Langchain. I think you know that, the complete Langchain. Okay, Langchain. So inside Langchain, I think we had so many functionality, yes or no? Like we can load our custom data, we can create a chains, we can, let's say, customize the output from the LLM, we can connect with different kinds of LLM, we can add the memory, right? So many things we can perform. Now in the second generation of Langchain, okay, second generation, that means the latest one. Okay, so what they did, actually they introduced something called Langchain Ecosystem. Okay, what is this ecosystem? So inside ecosystem, they introduced something called Langsmith, then LangServe, and there is another one called LangGraph. Okay, now you can ask me, what is this exactly? What is Langsmith, what is LangServe, and what is LangGraph? So Langsmith is nothing but it's a LLM ops tool. Okay, LLM ops tool. So this Langsmith is built on top of this Langchain only. That means they're using Langchain language only, but they have created one separate package. Okay, this is developed by Langchain team only. So they use the core Langchain concept and they introduce something called Langsmith, and this is one of the LLM ops tool. And now you can ask me what we can perform with the help of Langsmith. So usually we perform monitoring operation. Okay, monitoring. Let's say if you have created any application and if you want to monitor that, it can be also used evaluation monitoring as well. Okay, evaluation of your Langchain LLM app. Okay, so in this case, actually you can use this Langsmith. So not to worry, I'll show you some demo how we can monitor, how we can evaluate. Okay, so this thing we'll be also discussing about, but as of now, try to remember the ecosystem they have introduced, Langsmith. So this is a LLM ops tool, and with the help of that we can monitor our LLM application. Okay, so it's not like that we have built our application and we are running in the production. So sometimes you also need to monitor that whether it's working fine or not, whether, let's say, whatever response it is giving, it is relevant or not, whether there is any hallucination problem or not. Okay, so these are the thing we can easily get to get that with the help of Langsmith. Then the second thing you can see, which is nothing but LangServe. So LangServe will be using for the deployment. Okay, deployment for LLM application. That means with the help of LangServe, you can actually propose an API. Okay, you can create an API of your application. That means it uses actually something called FastAPI in the backend. So have you heard about FastAPI, guys? FastAPI. So FastAPI is a Python framework. With the help of that, you can create an API. You can create a web application. Okay, without writing any kinds of HTML, CSS code, you can use the FastAPI. So FastAPI is a production ready, actually one of the framework. If you want to create, let's say, API endpoints, so that time actually we can use it. So see, previously we used to use the FastAPI. We used to write the manual code for this, but currently Langchain, what they did, they created another package on top of this Langchain only. Then named it as LangServe. Okay, so with the help of Langchain, we can create this kinds of API. Okay, so that we can deploy our application easily. Okay, and a user can test. Let's say you have created a POC and you want to deploy this application. You want to create an endpoint and you want to share with your manager, or let's say some of the certain person, so that they can test your application. That time you can use this particular LangServe. So this is again another LLM ops tool they created. Okay. Now there is another one called LangGraph. LangGraph is for the agents. Okay, agents and multi-agents. So very interesting application nowadays, agents and multi-agents. Have you heard of this name, guys? Agents and multi-agents. So with the help of LangGraph, what we can create a agents. Okay, we can create agents. And what is agents, I'll be discussing about. I'll give you one real-time demo there will be creating an agents. Okay, so inside agents actually we try to create connect third-party tools. So we'll be connecting different third-party tools. See, previously maybe if you have used ChatGPT, so if you're, let's say, asking anything related, actually very latest question which is not available in the let's say GPT model, the data actually they didn't use during training, so that time this application will tell you, I'm not familiar with this particular, let's say, question, because I trained with let's say till this year, but what the question you are asking, this is the latest question. But nowadays if you see the ChatGPT, if you're asking anything in today's, let's say, latest news also, it will be able to give you the answer. Let me show you how it is fetching the information. Let's say I will ask one question, tell me about current Olympic, okay, 2024. See, I'm asking actually one very latest question. Okay, latest question. See, latest question I'm giving. Now see, if I send this question to my chat GPT, now here you will see that see, it is searching to the web. Okay, now after searching, this is the response it got. That means it is real time searching for that particular question, the question I have asked, in different platform. You can see it is referring Wikipedia. Okay, so this is referring Wikipedia, as well as see some sources they have also given. So man of the many, so this is another website. Olympics also it is referring. Olympics also is another website, you can see. Okay, so this is the website. Then they are also referring something called Sky News, then AI, Jazeera, NBC Olympic, BBC. Okay, see, these are the different website they are referring. Okay, different website information they are referring in real time. So this is called actually agents. Okay, agents and tool. That means you are connecting some third-party tools. Okay, you are connecting some third-party tools, so that if you're asking anything which is not available inside your model, it will be able to fetch real time, okay, from different sources. So this is called actually agents. Got it? Now how to build this particular agent? Say previously when we didn't have this kinds of, let's say, framework, LangGraph and all, so we used to manually create these other things, okay, with the help of Langchain. For this we used to write so many codes, but nowadays they created one amazing framework called LangGraph. So with the help of that you can easily create these kinds of agents. Okay, agents and multi-agents. Multi-agents means you will be creating multiple agents and it can interact with each other. Okay, so we'll be also learning this one. So apart from that, there is another tool you will be getting in the market called CrewAI. Okay, CrewAI. So CrewAI is one of the amazing tool you can use for creating the agents and multi-agents. Okay, so this is like more easy to understand. Okay, more easy to implement, because this is a high-level framework on top of the Langchain. Okay, right? So I think you know about the TensorFlow and Keras, right? So if you're using code TensorFlow, it would be a little bit difficult for you to write the code, because TensorFlow is a little bit low-level language. But if you use the Keras would be easy for you, because Keras is using TensorFlow only, but on top of that, they have created one high-level framework. Okay, they have created a wrapper. So similar things. So you have the LangGraph. That means it is based on the Langchain. Then what they did, they used the Langchain only, but they created one high-level framework. Okay, on top of it, this is called CrewAI. So it is like more easy to use. So these are some ecosystem. Okay, these are some ecosystem Langchain has created. If you can also search here, Langchain ecosystem. So integration with LangServe. So there is a code demo of the LangServe. No need to worry. I'll also show you the demo how we can use this particular LangServe. Apart from that, they have also Langsmith. Okay, see, this is the Langsmith as well. So you can go to the documentation. Simply you can search here. Let's say you want to find this LangGraph. So simply search here, LangGraph with Langchain. See, LangGraph is also there. You can see different, let's say you can do it with the help of Python code, TypeScript. Okay, so all the language it is supported. So see, there are some examples. See, you can use some third-party API to connect. Okay, I'll tell you whenever we'll be showing you the demo. That time I'll tell you. So you can use some API provider, and with the help of that you can connect with different sources, and you can fetch the real-time information. It is also possible. So this is called actually the Langchain ecosystem. So this was not available in our legacy Langchain. Okay, so guys, now we'll see the LangServe demo, like how LangServe works, and with the help of LangServe actually what we can perform. So this is one amazing ecosystem actually Langchain has developed. So let's see the practical demo of LangServe. I think then it would be clear. So first of all, you have to understand what is LangServe. Okay, what is LangServe exactly and why it is required. See, LangServe is nothing but it's a Langchain. It's a Langchain ecosystem. Okay, ecosystem. You can also call it as like LLM ops. Okay, LLM ops framework or tool. Okay, so with the help of this, what we perform, guys, we build simple LLM apps. Okay, apps. You can also call it as web app. You can also call it as API. Okay, application programming interface, so that user can test my application. Let's say you have created one application. So let's say you have used one large language model, LLM. With that, what you have done, you have created one RAG application. I think you know what is RAG application, right? You created a RAG application. Now this application you have created in your local machine. That means it is running on your local machine. Okay, only you can access this particular, let's say, like application. You can test this application. But let's say you want to share with some specific person. Let's say you want to share with your manager, or let's say your stakeholder, or let's say your client. That time, let's say your client want to see how this particular application is working, whether everything is fine or not. He just want to test it. Like he's telling, I want to test that application. If everything is working fine, if I'm liking this particular, let's say, project, then we'll be pushing this project to the production. Okay, so before pushing it to the production, first of all, you have to test. And for testing, you have to share this application with some of the person. So how to do it? Okay, for this you will be using something called this LangServe. Okay, LangServe. So when we didn't have the LangServe, guys, what we used to use, I think you remember, we used to use a Flask to create the API or web interface. We used to use something called Streamlit. Okay, then we used to use something called FastAPI. Okay, FastAPI. So that's how actually we are having different kinds of web framework. Okay, with the help of that, you can easily create a API. Okay, or web app. Okay, easily you can create a web app or API, and this web app you can simply deploy and you can share with your, let's say, client or stakeholder, or let's say to your manager, and they can test your application. Okay, it's working fine or not. But if I'm using these are the tools, then I should have knowledge on these are the tools. Let's say if you want to use Flask, so definitely you should have knowledge on the Flask. That means you have to learn the basics of Flask, like how to create the API, how to create the web app and all, right? And again, if you're using Flask, you have to also learn how to write the HTML code. Okay, HTML code, how to write the CSS code. With the help of that, you'll be creating the template. If I'm talking about Streamlit, again, it's a Python package. Here you don't need the HTML and CSS code, but again, you have to learn some basic syntax. Okay, if I'm talking about FastAPI, FastAPI is the production ready actually web framework, or let's say API framework. So with the help of that, you can create a production grade API, production grade actually application. But again, you have to learn the FastAPI, because if you see the FastAPI, okay, if I open this FastAPI documentation, you'll see that it's a like huge package actually. It's a production grade package actually developed, and inside that we are having so many concepts. But again, see, I don't recommend you have to learn all of them, because you as a generative AI developer, your task is to create the application. Okay, your task is to create use the model. You have to create the application. And when it comes to create the web interface, that means user interface, let's say if I'm talking about ChatGPT, it's a full stack development, yes or no? Because they're using let's say React, they're using Node.js. Okay, with the help of that, they are creating the beautiful web interface. They are creating interactive web interface. But as a generative AI developer, this is not my task. There would be other team, they will be creating this particular web application. But in the backend, okay, in the backend, the mechanism actually, let's say it is using, that means the core generative AI concept it is using, this is your responsibility to create. Okay, but initially, whenever you are creating your application, now you have to create some basics API, so that at least you can test this particular application, or your manager or your client let's say test this particular application. Okay, for this we can use these are the framework like Flask, Streamlit, FastAPI. But again, I should have knowledge on this one. But let's say you don't have the knowledge, then that time what you have to do? Again, you have to take the help from the web developer, or let's say a front-end developer, yes or no. So that's why Langchain, what they did, they introduced something called LangServe. Langchain, they introduced LangServe, and this is an ecosystem. Okay, LangServe. And what is LangServe? You can go to the simply Langchain documentation. LangServe docs. You can see the LangServe documentation. So LangServe helps developer deploy Langchain runables and chains as a REST API. That means with the help of that, you can create a API or you can create an application, and this application you can deploy. Okay, you can easily deploy, okay, as a REST API. I think you know what is REST API. That means you will be getting one API interface. With the help of that, you can send the request. Okay. Not only that, you will be also getting some web interface, because they have integrated web interface as also. Let's say you will be getting the input box and all. That is also possible here. So you can see this, the entire documentation, like how we can use this and all. So in which port and which route you have to go, everything they have given. Okay. But again, I told you Langchain documentation is a little bit hard to understand. So what I will do, I will first of all show you like how we can use this particular, let's say, LangServe in our project. Then you can go through the documentation. Each and everything would be clear, because you can see they have given so many examples. Okay. And I know that initially it would be a little bit hard for you to understand, okay, what they are writing and all. But first of all, let me show you my implementation. Okay. Then you can go through the entire documentation. And I will recommend, guys, please try to go through the documentation. Unless and until you are not going through the documentation, so you won't be able to get the in-depth idea. Okay. I'll show the demo how we can use this LangServe. But if you want to learn more about the LangServe, you can go to the documentation. Okay, that should be my suggestion, all of you. So now let me show you the demo, how we can actually use this LangServe in our implementation, and how we can create the REST API. Okay, so I'll show you. And one more thing I want to tell you, see this LangServe they have created. In the backend, they're using FastAPI only. Okay, they're using FastAPI only. So it is the high level of the FastAPI. Okay, if you go through the FastAPI documentation, you'll see that to use the FastAPI, you have to write so many code, right? So many configuration you have to do. But if you're using LangServe, you don't need to do it. Based on the FastAPI, actually, they created this LangServe. Okay, LangServe, this tool. Now, let me show you how we can use this one. So for this, I'm going to open up my VS Code. So here I'm going to see if you're using actually LangServe, instead of running from your Jupyter notebook, you can create a Python file. That would be better, because see, Jupyter notebook we won't be using whenever we are developing the application. Okay, so whenever we are experimenting the things, that time we'll be using. But whenever we are creating any application, that time we'll be using the Python file. So let's me create a Python file here. So I'll name it as 10. I can name it as, let's say, LangServe. Okay, LangServe underscore demo.py. So the first thing, you have to install the LangServe. Okay, in the requirements, you have to mention the LangServe. So let me mention it. So here is the LangServe package, because Langchain actually created this framework separately. So you have to install it separately. Okay, so you can see I'm installing this LangServe 0.2.2. Okay, you can also use any other version, but I'm using this version because this is the stable version I'm using. Now I have to set up it. So to set up it, guys, what you have to do, just open up your terminal in your directory. So let's say this is my directory. I'll open up my terminal, and I think you remember we created a virtual environment. So inside this readme, I shared the command. So this is my environment I created. You can activate, and simply you can run this requirement.txt command. Okay, so it will install this LangServe in your actually environment. So for me, I already installed, so that's why I'm not going to install it again. Okay, now here simply I'm going to create a simple app. Okay, simple actually translator app. So let me just write here. I'm going to implement what? Simple translator app. Okay, translator app. Okay, so what this app will do, it will take actually two input. One is the let's say language you want to translate. Okay, another one is the text you want to translate. Okay, so these two input this application will be taking. So let me just come here. So for this, I think you know how to actually initialize the large language model and all, because I already taught you in my previous session. So first of all, let me import all of the necessary package I need. So I think you are already familiar with these are the package, guys. Okay, so chat prompt template, str output parser, chat OpenAI. Okay, then python.env, because I have to load my OpenAI API key. So let me select my environment. So this is my environment, LLM app. Okay, this one. Apart from that, I also need something called operating system. Then I'm going to load my OpenAI API key. So let me load. So this will load your OpenAI API key. Okay. Then I'm going to initialize the OpenAI model. You can also use Grok API. If you don't have the OpenAI account, that time you can use Grok API. So this is my LLM wrapper. Then I'm going to also create the output parser. And I think you know what is output parser. Okay, we can reformat the output. Then I'm going to create a prompt. So first of all, I'm going to create a system prompt template. So this is the system prompt template. And here I'm giving the system prompt. Translate the following into this specific language. The language actually user will give. Let's say user want to translate in the Hindi, Bengali, Spanish. Okay, that time user will give the input and it will come here. It will create the complete prompt. Okay, now I have to create the prompt template. I think you know how to create the prompt template. So this is the syntax. The chat prompt template from message. Inside that, give the system prompt, and whatever user input will provide, okay, will pass in the text variable. This is the idea. Now we'll be creating the chain. So here we are using Langchain expression language to create the chain. You can see prompt template, then LLM, then output parser, sequence of execution. And to create the actually REST API with the help of LangServe, you have to import first of all FastAPI. Okay, you have to first of all import FastAPI, and you have to import another library from the LangServe called add routes. Okay, these two things you have to import, guys. Try to remember these two things you have to remember. And inside FastAPI object, you have to mention these are the syntax. See, so we have already imported FastAPI. Inside that, I'm passing the title. Title is simple translator. You can give anything. You can also give any kinds of version. I have given 1.0. And this is the description I have given. A simple API server using Langchain's runnable interfaces. Okay. Now we have imported another library called add routes. Okay. Inside that, we have to pass this object. See. So app routes, I'm passing my app. Then whatever chain actually I have created and the path. Okay. Path should be the chain. /chain. Why /chain? I'll tell you. Whenever I'll execute the application, you'll see that I have to go to the /chain. Okay. /chain actually route. And this route actually it will execute. And I also need to initialize the application. For this, I need this package actually called UVCon. And with the help of UVCon, we'll be starting the application. See, that's it. That's it. So UVCon run, give the app, give the localhost port number, anything you can give. I've given 8000 port number. This is, this is what you have to write. Okay. Now, see, if you go to the FastAPI documentation, you have to write so many code. But here, we haven't written so many code. We are only using LangServe. Okay, with the help of that, easily we are creating the REST API. Now, how to execute, guys? So for this, just open up your terminal. Okay, open up your terminal. Just a minute. And you have to execute this file. Okay, so you have to execute this demo file you have created. So let me execute Python 10 LangServe demo.py. Now see, if I execute, so it will see automatically it will initialize LangServe. You can see LangServe would be there. Now this application is running on your localhost port number 8000. Now see, if I open this localhost port number 8000, you will see there is nothing. Okay, so for this you have to go to chain route. So chain, okay, chain/playground. This is the route, guys. Chain/playground. Okay, if you go to this route, you will see the application interface, and this is the REST API, guys, we have created. Now let me zoom. See, this is the interface, and by default LangServe has created this interface. Okay, so you don't need to write HTML and CSS code for this. Now you can see we are having two input. One is the language, another is the text. The input actually you have written here, I think, remember. So I need two input. One is the text, another is the language. Okay, these two input automatically it is coming. Okay, now here you can test this application. Let's say I will give language, let's say I want to translate in Hindi. Okay, and text, let's say I will give my name is Bappi. Okay, or anything you can give. Now simply you can start the translation. Now see, mera naam Bappi hai. Okay, now again you can give the prompt. Another prompt you can give, let's say here I can give, tell me about Python. See, so amazing response actually we are getting. See, okay, amazing response we are getting. Now if you want to, let's say, hit this particular REST API, so for this you can also execute this code. So here Python SDK code I'll copy, and I'm going to create another file called test.py. Okay, inside that I'm going to paste it. See, this is the code. Okay, this is the code. Now here simply you have to give the message. Let's say you want to perform the invoke operation. So here you can write this thing. So inside this invoke you can give the input text. Let's say this is my input text. Language is Spanish, and text is equal to generative AI is the bigger opportunity than internet. So this thing I want to send the request. So I can execute. First of all, I'll be taking another terminal here. Just a minute. So my previous terminal is running, and now I'm taking a new terminal here. So first of all, let me activate my environment. Okay, then I will execute this test.py. So Python test.py. Okay, I'm not getting any output because okay, chain.invoke we are doing. So we have to first of all save inside a variable, and this variable we have to print. Now let me try. See the response we are getting. Now let's say this is your server. Okay, this is your development server. That means the demo server, POC server. You are running your application, and your manager, or let's say your client, are testing your application. Okay, how it is working. Either they can test with the help of web interface. Okay, either they can test with the help of web interface. Either they can use this particular code. Okay, the syntax I shared with you, Python SDK. Okay, with the help of API request also they can test your application. So this is called actually LangServe. Okay, so during development environment you'll be using this particular tool. Okay, just to test your application whether it's working fine or not. Now let's say everything is working fine, it is ready for the production. That time your front-end developer will come and they will create one beautiful interface, and they will connect your application, and this application would be available in the production server like the ChatGPT. Okay, I hope it is clear. So this is the simple demo of the LangServe. Now simply you can go to the documentation. Okay, the entire LangServe documentation. Now you'll be able to understand, okay, whatever things I showed you. So simply go to the documentation, guys, and please try to practice at least, okay, whatever they have given. And if you face any issue, you can let me know in the comment. I'll happy to help you, guys. We'll be learning about this LangGraph right now. Like Langchain has developed this LangGraph, and this is another ecosystem. So with the help of LangGraph, actually we can create actually agents and multi-agents. So in this example, I will show you how we can develop actually basic agents, okay, with the help of LangGraph. In future also we'll be learning the advanced like multi-agents implementation as well. So let's see the demo of this LangGraph, how it can be used. So LangGraph is nothing but it's a actually framework created by Langchain, and we can use this LangGraph actually to build agents inside generative AI. Okay, so there are some actually, let's say, application type inside generative AI. So from them actually one of the application you will be hearing a lot called agents. Okay, agents. So see, agents is not a separate application. So agents is just a kinds of actually tools. So whenever you are building any kinds of GenAI application, let's say you are implementing one chatbot, and this chatbot, let's say to implement the chatbot, you will be using one large language model, yes or no. So with the help of LLM, you will be creating the chatbot. So here user will give the query and user will get the response. Okay, so this is the query and this is the response I'm getting. But I think you already know, I already discussed. Okay, so see, the model actually you are using, this is actually pre-trained model, yes or no. This is pre-trained model. Okay, what is pre-trained model? Pre-trained model means this model has been trained with some specific data. So if I'm talking about ChatGPT, okay, ChatGPT, so I think you know in the backend of ChatGPT they're using GPT model. Okay, GPT model, GPT 3, 4. Okay, these are the model actually they're using. Now if you search over the Google, and if you just find it like till which year actually GPT got trained, so you'll see that I think till 2023. Okay, till 2023 October, I think, if I'm not wrong, October or November, I'm not sure. So they took the data and they trained this particular GPT model. Now if I'm asking something, after 2023 October, so let's say I'm asking tell me about 2024 Olympic. Okay, Olympic. So now tell me, will it able to give me the answer? If I'm using the model only, let's say I'm using the GPT model, okay, from the OpenAI API, definitely it won't be able to give me the answer. Okay, it will tell actually, I don't know, I don't have the enough information. But if I'm going to the ChatGPT, so let me show you. So if I'm going to the ChatGPT, and now let's say if I am asking something which is actually related latest news, ChatGPT will give me that response. Okay, how? I'll tell you. So let's say here I'm asking, tell me about 2024 Olympic. So let's say this is the question I'm asking. Now see, I want to show you one thing actually. Just a minute. Let me take a new chat. Latest news of 2024 Olympics. Okay, now see, it is searching. Okay, it is searching over the internet. Can you see? It is searching. Okay, see, search 3 sites. If I can open it, see, I can show you. So these 3 websites actually it has searched. Okay, real time it has searched and it has extracted the information. Okay, so this is called actually agents. So they have integrated the agents functionality with the ChatGPT. But previously, if you are using the ChatGPT from like, let's say very older days, I think you already know. In our previous ChatGPT, if we are asking anything which is relevant to the latest news, so ChatGPT used to reply like that, I don't have the sufficient information about that. Okay, so please try to ask me till this year. But nowadays, if you see, ChatGPT got updated. Okay, so they have actually made this application very powerful. So if you're asking something which is not available in the knowledge base of the model, it will able to take the latest information from different website. Okay, and this is called actually agents. Okay, agents. Now we can create 2 kinds of agents. We can use the simple agents. We can also create the multi agents. Okay, going forward, we'll be also discussing about multi agents, how we can create the multi agents and all, like how one agents can interact with any other agents. We'll be discussing about. But as of now, we'll be learning how we can create a simple agents with the help of LangGraph. Now, previously, when people used to create the agents, right? When people used to create the agents, actually they used to use Langchain only. Okay, Langchain, the legacy Langchain they used to use. But for this, actually, they had to write like too much line of code, and they had to also integrate with different actually third-party framework. But nowadays, you don't need to do like that. Langchain has created one amazing framework called LangGraph. Okay, LangGraph. So Langchain team has developed this LangGraph, and they are telling if you want to create a agents, okay, if you want to create a agents, okay, or if you want to create a multi agents, we don't have any issue. Okay, you can use our framework. Okay, now whatever tools and technology you need to create the agents and multi-agents, everything's are available inside this LangGraph framework. Okay, now there is another alternative in the market right now, which is called CrewAI. Okay, CrewAI. So CrewAI has been also built on top of the Langchain only. Okay, in the backend they're using Langchain only, but they have created one high-level framework. Okay, I think you know about TensorFlow and let's say Keras. So Keras, so TensorFlow is a low-level actually framework, and Keras is the high-level framework. Okay, Keras is more easy to understand than TensorFlow. Then what TensorFlow did, they integrated this Keras, okay, in their framework only. So similar wise, if you're using LangGraph, so it would be actually a little bit actually, complex based on the coding. So whenever you are doing the coding and all, you'll feel like it is a little bit complex. And whenever you are using CrewAI, it would be very easy for you because it is a high-level framework they have created. Let's say you are implementing one agents application. So with the help of LangGraph, you are implementing. So let's say you are writing 100 line of code with the help of LangGraph. But if I'm talking about CrewAI, so here you can implement this project with the help of 30 line of code. Okay, so that much actually easy it is. So first of all, we'll be exploring the LangGraph. Then in future also, I'll also show you how we can also use CrewAI to implement agents kinds of application. Okay, so now let me show you some of the point actually you have to remember whenever you are implementing agents. See, agents is nothing but how actually agent works. So let me show you some of the point. See, these are the point actually you can remember, I think. So the first point you can see uses the language model as a brain. That means whenever you're implementing agents, okay, so to implement the agents, you need to use some tool. Okay, tool. What is tool? You can use some source tool. Okay, source API. So see, I think I showed you one example, this ChatGPT example. Whenever I was searching this, let's say news, latest news of 2024 Olympics. So it was searching, okay, it was searching in a different website, and it got actually three, actually you can see website. Okay, from this three website, it is giving me the answer. So to perform the search operation, they're using some search API. Okay, Google Search API. There are actually so many API nowadays. I will tell you one of them. So with the help of that, you can actually search over the Google and you can extract the latest information. So this is called actually tool. So whenever we are implementing agents application, we'll be using tool. Okay, so with the help of tool, we'll be creating the agents. So here, in case you can use the search API, even you can also use different kinds of tool. Okay, going forward, we'll be also learning actually more advanced tools and technology. But as of now, we'll be using the search API only. Got it? So that means it is using the our base LLM only as a brain. That means large language model it will try to utilize. But whenever your user is asking any kinds of question, let's say user is asking latest news of 2024 Olympics. Now your LLM will decide whether it has to use the tools or whether it has to refer the knowledge base. So first of all, whenever you are asking this question, latest news of 2024 Olympics, definitely this latest news, it is not available in the knowledge base of the ChatGPT, yes or no. In the GPT model, that time your LLM will automatically decide I have to use the actually agents, I have to use the tool, and I have to search it from the different APIs. Okay, and the information I'll be getting, I'll extract and I'll try to provide to the I'll summarize it and I'll try to provide to the user. Okay, so this is what actually agents work. Okay, that's how actually agent work. That means it will be using the LLM as a brain only. On top of that, it will decide, okay, based on the user prompt, it will decide whether it has to follow the knowledge base or it has to reply, okay, with the help of this tool. Okay, tools. I think it is clear. Now taking action after deciding the agents then goes ahead and docs those actions. Okay, now learning and adjusting. Once the actions are done, the results can be given back to the language model, and this helps model the checking everything is complete if needs to do something else. That means the response actually you are getting from the different website, it will try to summarize. Okay, and if something is required on top of it, it will try to add. Okay, it will try to add some more flavor, and this response your user will able to see that. Okay, so this is how your agents work. Okay, I hope it is clear how agents works. And for this, we'll be using the LangGraph. Okay, with the help of LangGraph, we'll be creating the agents. So in this video, I'll show you how we can create a simple agents. Okay, with the help of LangGraph. This is our main agenda. Fine. So I think you remember, guys, I started writing coding. So this is my notebook. So I'll open up my VS Code, and here I'll create a notebook. So let me create a notebook here. So here I can name it as let's say LangGraph.ip mynb. Fine. So let me take some cell and I'll select my cardinal. Fine. So the first thing, guys, what I have to do, I think remember, I have to load my OpenAI API key, because here I'm going to use the OpenAI model. In case you can also use any other model like Grok API, okay? You can use it. It's up to you. So let me open up, load my OpenAI API key. Now the next thing, I'll be loading my LLM, okay? That means my chat completion model. So in case I'll be using GPT 3 Turbo model. So let me load it. Okay. So model I have also loaded. Now, see, the tool actually will be using one FastAPI tool. So the name of the tool is Tabily. Okay, so you can see Tabily. So Tabily, one of the actually tool, and it is one of the actually amazing website. It provides a API. With the help of that API, you can search over the Google. That means it is kinds of actually Google search engine. So whatever, let's say, search we usually perform in the Google, let's say if I'm searching anything, let's say I will ask the same question. So let's say this is what I'm searching here. Okay, tell me the latest news of Olympic. Okay, now see, Google is searching from the different sources and it is giving me the response. Okay, so that's how Tabily is also a search engine provider. Okay, so here you can ask anything. It will search over the, let's say, internet, and it will give you response. Okay, it is a small kinds of Google search engine you can talk about. Now to use the Tabily, first of all, you have to sign up with the account. Okay, how to sign up? So there is a sign up button. Just try to click here and try to create one account. With the help of your Gmail, you can create an account. For me, I already have the account. So what I will do, I'll just try to simply log in here. Okay, after login, you will see this kinds of window. Okay, this kinds of window you will see. Now Tabily, initially it is a free actually. In a month, actually, I think you can do thousands requests. So here they have written you can perform 1,000 requests. Okay, API limit. But if you're building actually massive application, if your let's say application is having lots of traffic and you are doing the frequent search, you can also take the enterprise level subscription. Okay, but as of now we are showing the actually demo. That's why I can use my personal plan. Okay, you can also use the premium subscription of it, but I think 1,000 requests I can send. Okay, I can use this particular free account. Okay, it's completely fine. Now here, if you don't have an API key, just try to create an API key. But by default, it will provide an API key. So you can copy this API key and you can set it inside your environment variable. Let me show you. I can copy my key, and left hand side you can see I have the env file. Okay, now let me open it up. So guys, here you can add this particular API key. So let me add it. So Tabily API key is equal to, so here I will copy my API key. So after this actually video, I'll try to delete it. So try to create your own API key, guys. Okay, don't use my API key. So here I'll paste my API key. Got it. Now save it. And yeah, I think everything is fine. Now again, I will re-execute this particular code because it will automatically load the env file and it will load all the environment variable. Okay, now let me load my model as well. Now I think you got it, like how to create the Tabily actually account and how we can get the API key of the Tabily. Okay, now the next thing we'll see how we can use this particular Tabily, okay, to perform this kinds of real-time search operation. Okay, and on top of that we'll be building our agents. So for this, first of all, you have to install some of the library. I think most of the library we already installed. Here you can see everything we have installed. One thing I need to install, which is nothing but LangGraph. Okay, so LangGraph is not available inside Langchain, so separately you have to install this particular LangGraph. Okay, you can see LangGraph I'm installing with this specific version. Okay, so Langchain has created separate framework for the LangGraph. Okay, fine. Now after that, this is the code snippet. You can test the Tabily search results. Okay, so inside Langchain we already have this Tabily search, okay, functionality. So it is available inside Langchain community. So we already installed Langchain community. Let me show you. The Langchain community is already there. Okay, so here I'm importing this Tabily search results from the tools and Tabily search. Okay, now similar wise, not only Tably search, you have different kinds of let's say tool. Okay, you can search over the Google. You will see different kinds of tools are available. Okay, you can also use SARP API. SARP API is one of the, let's say, API provider. With the help of SARP API also you can perform the search operation. Let me show you SARP API. Okay, I think it's a SARP API. Okay, see, this is the SARP API website. Okay, so here also you can create an account and you can also perform the Google search operation and all. Okay, everything you can perform it here. Now here what I will do, see, here I'm creating a search object. So you can see Tably search results, and here you have a parameter called maximum results, like how many response you want to get whenever it is searching over the Google, or let's say over the search engine, how many response you want to see. Here I have given max result is equal to, that means it will only show 2 results. But whenever I'm talking about ChatGPT, you can see ChatGPT is referring 3 results. Okay, it is referring 3 results. In case you can also give the 3, let's say I want to see three relevant response. So here I can give the 3. Okay, now this is my search. Who are the top starts on the 2024 Euro Cup? Okay, let's say this is the latest information I'm asking. Now see, if I'm executing this line of code, so it is searching over the, let's say, Google, and it is extracting the information. Now see, it has referred. These are the website. You can see, I can open the website. See, these are the website it has referred, okay, to give me the response. This is one of the website. This is another website. And this is another website. And why 3? Okay, why 3? Because here I have given, I need a 3 response. Okay, now you can see, this is the URL and this is the content it has extracted. This is the URL. This is the content it has extracted. This is the URL and this content it has extracted. Now you can also see the website. Okay, see, these are the Eurocup 2024 website. Okay, so from there it is extracting the information right now. You can see from there it is extracting the information right now. Okay, but I don't want to create the application like that. I want to create agents actually. So my agents will automatically decide the search, let's say the prompt I'm giving, whether it has to follow the knowledge base or it has to follow the tools. That means it has to use the tools and search over the internet real time. Okay, so for this we'll be implementing the agents. Okay, now to implement the agents, first of all, the tool actually I'm using, this is called actually Tably search results. Okay, now you can use also multiple tool. I already told you, you can also create a multi agents. So here we are creating the single agents. That's why inside tool will be only keeping the one tool, okay, called search, the search object we have created. In case you can also use any different tool. Okay, it is also possible. Going, in future I will also show you, okay, how we can create a multi-tool application. Now, if you see the tool, you'll see that it's an object of Tably search. Okay. Now, what you can do? Just a minute. Now, to create the agents, okay. Now we'll be creating the agents. To create the agents, you can use this syntax. So inside LangGraph, okay, inside LangGraph, we have one function called create react agents. Okay, but before that, you have to execute one line of code. I think this is not required because this is the latest version of that syntax. I was going through the documentation and this is the latest version you can see. So from LangGraph, inside that you are having a pre-built and you have to import this particular create react agents. Okay, now inside create react agents, you have to pass the LLM. The LLM we have defined our ChatGPT, and the tool actually we are using called search tool. Okay, Tably search tool. Now this would be my main executor. Okay, this would be my main executor, and see, we are using the LangGraph. Okay, we are using the LangGraph, and inside this function all the code has been written, like how it will do the search operation. Okay, everything has been written. So this is what actually LangGraph does. Okay, that's how actually LangGraph gives you more flexibility to build these kinds of AI agents. But if you are working with the legacy Langchain, I think you already know. Previously, whenever we used to create these kinds of agents application, we have to write so many line of code. Yes or no, guys? Okay, if you are already used the older Langchain, I think you already know how hard was actually it is to create a agents application. Okay, we have to use different kinds of framework, different kinds of tools. Okay, with the help of that, we used to create the agents. But now we have these kinds of framework. Okay, it is already inbuilt. That means all the functionality it is already available. So simply you can use them and you can create a agents application. Okay, now let me create this object. Okay, agents executor object. Now we'll test it whether it is working or not. For this is what actually I have prepared. You can see. So Langchain code message, human message, because human will pass the prompt, and I think you know how to label the human message. With the help of human message, we can label the human message. So this is what actually I'm giving. Where is the soccer Euro Cup 2024 played? Okay. Now this is again a latest information, and the response actually I am getting from my, let's say, model. Here I'm extracting the message only. Okay. Now let me show you. See, it is searching over the internet and it is extracting the information. Now you can see this is the URL. Okay, this URL it has referred, and this is the actually response I got. Okay, so this is the response I got. That's how your agents work. Okay, now your model is deciding, your large language model is deciding whether I had to use this tool or I have to use my own knowledge base. Okay, now let me show you another example. Let's say here I can ask, what is Python? Okay, let's say this is my question. Can you see there is no real-time URL? Okay, real-time URL, there is no real-time URL. Okay, it is referring the knowledge base only. Okay, it is referring the knowledge base only. That means Python is already available in the knowledge base. You can see the URL it is giving, but this is not actually live URL. That means when they actually train this particular, let's say, model, that time this URL also available in that model. Okay, but this one is the live URL. That means whenever it was doing the execution operation, I think you saw it was taking some time, like your ChatGPT. So when I asked this question in the ChatGPT was also taking some time. Okay, that means it was performing the real search operation, real-time search operation. Okay, similar wise, when I executed this line of code, it was also performing the real-time search operation from this URL. Then it has extracted the I think news, and it is giving me the response. Okay, but in case it is using the knowledge base. Okay, that's how my application will decide whether I have to use my knowledge base or I have to search over the internet. Okay, so that's how we create the agents. Now this is what actually we got the one-shot output. If you want to get the stream output, at that time you can also apply this stream functionality here. So you can see executor stream, because at the end it's an executor only. I think we already learned inside Langchain expression language what is executor, what is executable, okay, what is runnable. So this is actually runnable. Okay, so here we can also perform the stream operation, stream, batch, inbox, everything you can perform here. Again, I'm asking the same question. You can see when and where will be the 2024 Euro Cup final match. Now you can see it is searching real time, and based on that it will give me the answer. Now see, this is the live URL, and it is referring the Wikipedia. Okay, Wikipedia it is referring, and this is what actually I'm getting. Got it? Now if you want to add the memory, let's say I want to add the memory channel so that I can perform the conversation. Okay, so you can also add the memory. So for add the memory, what I can do, so here I can add it. See, adding memory is very easy. So the previous actually memory functionality we have learned, like buffer memory and all, you can also use them, but there is another memory you can use. It is available in the LangGraph, see, called memory saver. Okay, so you can create an object of memory saver. Now this object you can pass to the executable. Okay, let me show you. So this is what one example. So create React agents, LLM tools, and checkpointer is equal to memory you have to give. Okay, now here I have given additional actually information. You can see config is equal to config configurable trade ID 001. Okay, why I'm giving this one? Because see, whenever I'm coming to the ChatGPT and whenever I'm creating my user, okay, that means Bappy use the user. So whatever, let's say, conversation Bappy is doing, okay, so Bappy is having the history, but let's say there is another user is coming, he is creating the account, so he is not able to actually see my like chat history. So he will be getting a completely new window there. That means inside ChatGPT application, different users are coming and they're creating different kinds of, let's say, chat window. Okay, based on that they're doing the conversation. So these kinds of functionality you can also add here. So here you can see trade ID I have given 001. That means this is the user one, let's say. Okay, user one. So let me show you one example. I think that would be clear. Now let's say this is one I'm asking. So who won the 2024 soccer Euro Cup? And here is the config I'm passing. Okay, now let me show you. So this is what actually I got the response, and this is the URL. Okay, tiktok.com it was referring. Now here I can ask another question. Who were the top stars of the winner team? Okay, it is telling the search doesn't provide a specific information. So again, let me execute this line. Okay, now I got, you can see the winner of the 2024 Soccer Euro Cup was Spain. Now I can ask this question: who were the top stars of the winner team? The search result did not provide specific information. This Spain Euro Cup team. Let me again execute. Now see, I got some actually winner team name. You can see William. Okay, so different name actually I'm getting. That means it is referring my previous context. Okay, how? Based on the memory. Okay, now let's say there is a user 2. Okay, user 2. Let's say this is my user 2, trade ID 002. Okay, now see, this user and this user is completely different. Okay, now see, if I'm asking any question about what soccer team we are talking. Okay, now see, what is the response actually I'm getting? We are discussing about FC Barcelona, Spain. How I can assist you? I think this is not the relevant. Let me show you. The winner of the soccer team of Spain, Victoria, England, and final. But the response actually I'm getting, this is a completely different. That means you can see this user and this user conversation is completely different. Okay, that means it is not able to refer this particular chat history. But if I'm giving this one 001 trade ID, now I think it can give me the right response. Okay, we are discussing the Spain national soccer team and their victory in 2024 Soccer Euro Cup. Okay, I hope it is clear. That's how if you want to add the memory, okay, you can add like that. Okay, it is also possible. So this is what our LangGraph. Okay, that's how our LangGraph works, and this is the simple agents we have developed. Okay, now we can also implement multi-agents, and we can also add actually different kinds of tools. Okay, everything is possible here. So going forward, we'll be also learning about that. Okay, no need to worry. I think now you got it. Okay, how this LangGraph works exactly. Okay, and this is what actually Langchain has created, and they are calling it as a ecosystem. Okay, I hope it is clear now. So guys, now we'll start with the Langsmith demo. So this is another ecosystem from the Langchain. So they have created this amazing LLM ops platform. This is called actually Langsmith. So here I'm going to show you how we can build, monitor, and trace our LLM powered application. Okay, with the help of this Langsmith platform. So let's see the practical demo of this Langsmith. So what is Langsmith? So Langsmith is a it's an ecosystem. Okay, it's an ecosystem of Langchain. So Langchain has different ecosystem. I already told you. So Langchain has different ecosystem, like LangServe is there, LangGraph is there. So Langsmith is one of them. Okay, Langsmith, and this is a LLM ops platform. Okay, LLM ops platform they have developed. So with the help of this Langsmith, what we can perform, guys, we can do the monitoring. Okay, we can do the debug. We can do the like tracing. Okay, even you can also perform the evaluation. Okay, evaluation of your application. So this is a little bit advanced one. We'll also try to discuss, okay, how we can perform the evaluation of our application. So in this actually session, I'll be showing you how we can monitor, debug, and tracing our application. Let's say if you are creating any kinds of application, at the end you also need to integrate these kinds of LLM ops tools so that you can get to know, okay, so what is going on inside your application. You can get the entire experiment there. Okay, let's say many people will ask, like, how we can trace our cost, like how much it is charging, okay, based on the request I'm sending to the model. So each and everything you can monitor. Okay, so these kinds of functionality Langsmith usually provides. Okay, so Langchain has created one amazing platform called Langsmith. So with the help of that, you can monitor, debug, trace, and evaluation your LLM powered application. Okay, so for this, we'll be using this particular Langsmith platform, and this is called LLM ops platform. Okay, Langchain has created. Fine. So now what I will show you guys, I think practical demo would be better, because what I believe in practical, unless and until I'm not showing you the practical, things would be more difficult. So first of all, we'll see the practical demo. So I already prepared the code and everything. Okay, I'll just execute and I will show you, okay, how we can configure with the Langsmith and all, and how we can monitor, debug, and trace our application. Okay, For this, we'll be first of all opening the Langchain website. Okay, so let me just open the Langchain website. So I'll open the Langchain website. So the first thing, you have to create one account in the Langchain website, guys. Okay, so everyone, if you don't have the account, first of all try to create one account in the Langchain website. So for me, I already have the account. If you don't have the account, guys, just try to sign up with your email address and you will be getting one account. So for me, I already have the account. I'll just try to do the sign up here. See, for me, it will automatically log in. See, okay. So initially, we'll see these kinds of interface. But for me, see, I already created actually one project here. I was tracking one project. That's why you can see this particular project name. But if you're opening for the first time, you will see that it would be completely empty dashboard. Okay. Now, the first thing what you have to do, guys. So you can see this is the Langsmith platform. Now you can also open up the documentation. I think so they have also given the documentation link somewhere. So let me open the documentation. See, this is the documentation. So this is the Langsmith documentation. So here they have already written with the help of Langsmith. It's a platform for building production grade LLM application. It allows you to closely monitor, evaluate your application. So you can ship quickly with the confidence. Use of Langchain is not necessary. Langsmith works on its own. That means you don't need to configure so many things here. Only you just need to set some environment variable and all, and everything will be tracing automatically. Okay. Even they have also given some example like how we can install it. Okay. So if you're using Langchain, so you don't need to install Langsmith separately. Okay. It will be working fine. Now you have to create the API key of the Langsmith. Then after that, you have to set it as an environment variable. And if you're using any other operating system, you can also export it. Okay. And they have also given some of the demo. But again, I told you, Langchain documentation is a little bit complex for the beginner. So first of all, see my code example. Okay, whatever application I'm showing you, first of all, try to see, then try to go through the documentation. Okay. Even they have already given the like tutorial related evaluation, prompt engineering. Okay. Even they have also integrated LangGraph, like cloud. If you want to, let's say, integrate the LangServe and all, you can also do it. Okay. But as of now, it's not required. We'll be using the Langsmith for the monitoring our application. Okay. This is our main objective. So for these guys, first of all, let's create one API key. And how to create the API key? So for this, open up your dashboard and left hand side, you will see there is a setting option. Okay. Now click on the setting option. Now here you can create the API key. Okay. See, there is an option, create an API key. So if you don't have the API key, guys, just try to create an API key. For me, I already created. Okay. See, you can see for me, I already created. So let me, what I can do, I can delete this API key. The API key actually I created, I can delete it. Now I'll be creating a new one. So create API key, you can give the name. Let's say I'll give my key and create it as a personal access token and create the API key. And make sure you copy it and paste it inside your env file. Okay. Now see, this is my env file. And here you have to write this particular key name, Langchain API key. Okay. Inside that you have to paste this particular key. So let me paste my key. Okay. Don't use my key, guys. I'll try to remove it after this session. Okay. Just try to create your own API key and try to mention here. Then you have to give another key, which is nothing but Langchain project. That means the experiment actually it will be tracking, right? So it will save as a project. So you have to give the project name. So by default, whatever name actually you'll be providing here, it will use that particular name. So here I will give, let's say, my LLM app. The previous I already created one app called my LLM app. Now what I can do, I can, let's say, change it. So I'll give test. Okay. Test app. So I've given this name. You can give any name. Okay. It's up to you. Now let me save and it's done. Now let's create out. Now what you can do, you can create a Jupyter notebook. So for me, I already created a Jupyter notebook, guys. You can see, and I have already written the code example. Okay. How we can use this particular Langsmith. So again, these are the code snippet. I think you are already familiar with. I already explained everything inside Langchain. Okay. So here I'm importing operating system library, then chat OpenAI because we'll be using the chat completion model. Then chat prompt template, HTR, output parser. Okay. Then load env. So I think you are already familiar with these are the packages. Okay. Now let me import them. Now the next thing you have to load the like secret credential. Okay. You have to load the OpenAI API key. You have to load the Langchain API key. Okay. And you can, in case you can also use any other model. You can use Grok model. Okay. Any other model you can use. So here I'm using the OpenAI model. And so if you're using Langsmith, one things you have to assign, which is nothing but Langchain tracing v2 is equal to true. So if you go to the documentation of LangServe, let me show you. So if I go to the documentation, so they're telling, see here, so this one, Langchain tracking v2 is equal to true. You have to provide this particular statement. Okay, if you're not providing, your execution won't be logged inside Langsmith. Okay, that means it won't be tracing. But if you're giving it as true, it will automatically start tracing your experiment. Okay, so this is super important, guys, and this is what you have to remember in Langsmith. Okay, nothing else. Everything will take care by Langchain only. Got it? Now see here, I have mentioned Langchain underscore trace tracking underscore v2 is equal to true. And why v2? Because we are using second generation of Langchain. Okay, second generation of Langchain. That's why we have given the v2 version 2. Got it? Now let me load the environment. Now here I'm creating the chat prompt template. I think you know what is chat prompt template. If I want to give some prompt to my LLM, first of all I have to create the prompt template. So here I'm creating my prompt template, and here I'm using the chat completion model. That's why I have to give the system prompt as well as the user prompt. So this is my system prompt. You are a helpful assistant. Please respond to the user request only based on the given context. Now this is the user. So user, in case actually what user will pass the question, and they can also pass the context. Okay, so context wise they can also pass. So this is my entire prompt template I have created. Now I'm initializing the model. I'm using the GPT 3.5 turbo model and as well as the output parser. Okay, now this is a basic simple chain I'm creating with the help of LCL, that means Langchain expression language. And I already told you this kinds of ecosystem supports latest Langchain. Okay, the second generation of Langchain. Okay, if you're using the legacy Langchain, in case actually it won't be working. Okay, that's why I already told you have to learn the second generation of Langchain. Now this is my simple chain prompt model and output parser. So first of all, prompt will be created, then it will pass to the model. Model will give me the response, and it will pass to the output parser, and output parser will return the string output. Okay, this is the idea. Now let me create the chain. Now here is my question. So here I'm giving one question: can you summarize this story? And story wise, I've given this particular story. You can see inside the context. So I have copy pasted this story from Google. So if you can search like English story, we'll be getting different story. So here you can paste anything, or if you have any other documents, you can also pass it here. Okay, now this is my question: can you summarize this story or not? Okay, so this is my question. Now here I'm passing it to my actually chain. So chain.invoke question is equal to question I'm giving, and the context is equal to context I'm giving. Okay, now see if I execute it. So here I will get the summary. Okay, this is the entire summary actually I got. Now if you go to the Langsmith, okay, if you go to the Langsmith, and if I go to the, let's say tracking project, okay, in this section, now you'll see that the latest actually track would be visible. So this is my previous one. Okay, this is my previous one. You can see the timing. Okay, in this timing, at this time actually I was experimenting this application. Now this is the new one, test app. The name actually I have given inside my environment variable. It is utilizing the same name. Okay, now you can see the created date and everything. It would be visible. Now you can also see some of the messages like error rate. So are you getting any error or not? Then latency. Okay, like how much actually time it took to execute the application. Okay, so different actually log you can see. Now total token, total cost. See, now you can track you can monitor your cost, like how much it is charging. So here we are using OpenAI model. So the request actually I send. Okay, so based on the request, what is the charge? So see, it is charging $0.0000181. Okay, and this is the date. Now I can also open it up and I can see detailedly, okay, what it's trying to say. Now see, entire log you can see here. Okay, like the run count, like only one time I executed, the total cost, okay, then token and latency. Okay, everything you can see here. Okay, everything, all the metadata you can visualize here. Okay, in this Langsmith platform. So this is one amazing platform they have created. Now if you want to see in detail, so what you can do, simply you can click here. See, it is logging as a runnable sequence. Okay, now I think you can answer me why runnable sequence, because I already told you whenever we create a change, that means we are executing runnable, yes or no, sequence of runnable. Okay, that's why it is logging as a runnable sequence. Okay, now inside runnable sequence, what we have, guys, we have different kinds of runnable. Okay, like we have our model, we have our a prompt. Okay, then we have the output parser, and you can see this is the input. Okay, this is my input and this is the context. Based on that, it has given me this particular answer, output. Okay, if you want to see as a JSON, you can also see. If you want to say as a YAML file, you can also see. Okay, now status is success. That means there was no error. Now you can see the feedback. So if any feedback is required, it will automatically give you the feedback. It will also show you the metadata, like what is the version and everything you are using. Okay, so everything it will show you. Everything it will show you. That means each and everything you can monitor here of your application. Okay, so this is one of the amazing product actually Langchain team has developed. Even personally, I prefer a lot. So it will give you the entire clear-cut idea about your application, like the cost, everything. Okay, everything. Even you can also evaluate your application. Okay, so I think future will also show that how we can evaluate our application. Now see, apart from that, I think some more functionality are there. So let me open it up. So what I can do, I can show you the monitor section. So inside monitor section, it will show you the graph based on the, let's say, hour and day basis. So I just executed my project as of now. That's why there is nothing. But after 1 year or after 9 days, okay, or 1 day, you will see it will show you the different graph, like volume, latency, tokens, cost, okay, streaming, everything it will show you. Now setup wise, if you want to set up it, so they are also giving the tutorial, but I don't need it. I already set up this project. Now I'll go to the run section. I'll click on the all runs. And inside all runs, you'll see whatever runnables you had, everything it will show you. Let's say, so I had different runnables get, remember? So prompt was there, model was there, output parser was there. Okay, so you can see output parser, our model, okay, then our prompt. Okay, now this is the sequence runnable, that means the entire runnable. Now you can also open them individually. Let's say I want to see the output parser only. In case, I can open it up and I can see, okay, what output parser is doing. It is giving me the string as in output. Okay, that's how we can see the model size, model as well. So what is the model you are using? Okay, the model input, model output, everything it is visible. Okay, and the token, the cost, okay, everything it will show you. So with the help of this Langsmith, we can do some more advanced stuff. Maybe in future I will also show you, but as of now, that's how you can monitor your entire application. Okay, in mlops, if you have used something called ml flow, anyone, so I think you can relate, okay, ml flow with this Langsmith, because in ml flow also we can track our experiment. Okay, so inside this Langsmith also we can track our experiment. Let's say you are executing for the next time, second time. So what I can do, let's say I can change this question. So here I can write, can you summarize this story? Instead of that, I can just write, what is this story all about? Okay, all about. Now if I again execute, okay, now see, if I go to the Langsmith again, and if I just click here, test tab, now see the second execution, okay, the second log, just 1.92 seconds ago. Okay, sorry, it's a latency, but you can see the time as well. So I can show you the time. I think time, you see, you can see the time. Okay, got it. So you can see this is the next experiment. Now if I open it up, so you can see this is the question, and this was my actually context, and this is my response. Okay, so that's how we can track a different experiment. Okay, with different actually, let's say, runnables, different actually input output. Okay, everything you can trace. So this is why important. I think whenever you are creating production grade application, so you should also integrate this kinds of functionality. And to integrate it, so you only just need to add this particular syntax. Okay, that's it, and everything would be automated in the platform itself. I hope now you are clear with this Langsmith. Okay, how Langsmith works.